I solicit your help as I try to keep this church custom. I ask everyone please to help me and touch your neighbor and say neighbor. Neighbor. Touch your neighbor and say neighbor. Neighbor. Say neighbor, don't touch me. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be a part of this MLK program. It is deeply humbling to be asked in light of finding out that our speaker tomorrow will be none other than the Mr. Black Power salute himself, Dr. Tommie Smith. So Dr. Tommie Smith won an Olympic gold medal in the 1968 Olympics. And before he rose up on that podium to hear that national anthem and that medal put around his neck, he took the liberty to take off his shoes to show solidarity for the poor and oppressed in America. 6 months prior to that, in Memphis, Tennessee, Dr. King was on the Poor People's Campaign. And it is known that the force of the bullet hit Dr. King's body with such an impact that it lifted Dr. King up and out of his front shoe. And it is also custom in our church. We offer removing of the shoes as a way to feel at ease and at comfort in our presence. And tomorrow on the MLK program, it should be no different. We want everyone to feel at ease. See, we'll have our government officials come up and sit in front of us, and they'll come around and we'll come around. We'll have some of the more comfortable and convenient quotes from Dr. King. However, I was reminded by my mentor this morning, Dr. Johnny, not doctor, his name is Johnny Smith. He said, if we didn't know any better, we might confuse Dr. King for Santa Claus. But make no mistake about it, even though Santa Claus come in the house in the middle of the night, no one has ever shot Santa Claus out in shoes. Dr. King was killed for us, not just for dreaming, but for us to wake us up as descendants of that dream. And still today we have a poverty pipeline that we must address. It is often called the school to prison pipeline. However, those tracks extend further to a town called Poverty. And not only that, it goes back into this prison industrial complex. See, our schools here in Barber County still underserve Black and brown children when it comes to standardized testing, while our prison industrial complex overserves Black and brown body in the incarceration rate. And with that strike on one's record, it is hard to find a job to get to earn a sustainable wage. See, poverty can not only be a result of incarceration. In America, poverty can often be the cause. There are people sitting in our jails right now who can't afford a bond, so they sit there for years and months. There are people who are sitting in jail because they couldn't afford a formidable defense. A major tool prosecutors use as a gateway to incarcerate Black and brown bodies is the racial makeup that we have on every one of our governing bodies right here in Barber County. Juries of one African American or less incarcerate Black and brown bodies at 11 times the rate of any other race of people across this nation. The movie Just Mercy is out now with starring Jamie Foxx and Michael B. Jordan. These are where these stats come from. But the attorney that Michael B. Jordan is playing in the movie, Brian Stevenson, says that the real tragedy is 1 out of 9 of those that are in line to be slaughtered on death row are eventually exonerated, 1 out of 9, and found to be innocent of any crime. Now, innocent is supposed to be the presumption, right? Innocence shouldn't have to be found. But that mighty stream called justice flows different if you're Black or if you're brown. See, Dr. King said it's cruel to tell a bootless man to simply pull himself up by his bootstraps without considering the situation in society that leaves the man with no boots. But Never fail. We have tools right here that even Dr. King, the dreamer, couldn't even imagine. See, with this phone in our hand that we have in the comfort of this church, we can share and send petitions to save one of these inmates, to give them another day of life. With this tool in our hand in the comfort of this church, we can download an app called 5 Calls app. See, Dr. King walked on watch. We can reach our congressman to communicate whatever our concerns is right here from the comfort of this church. Well, and the most important tool that I received in my lifetime that I try to pass on to our kids is the empowerment of entrepreneurship. See, in my family, my father's family business, my brothers and I, we work alongside him in his concrete construction company. My beautiful mother did the books. My sweet, sweet sister, Carol, she wrote out the payroll checks to give to men from all walks of life all around this community. And some of those men who was working in my father's black-owned business, some of them were just getting out of jail. Some of them were headed right back. However, because my father had a black-owned business and many other business leaders in this community had businesses, no one who was willing to work was unable to afford food. So I want to take this opportunity in closing to commend the MLK community for your outstanding work. I think y'all have done a great job. This is such an important program that they put on for us every year so that we can learn about the legacy of Dr. King and learn about Dr. Tommie Smith. You know, at first I was a little timid when asked to speak on this program, but I realized that if we aspire to float like a butterfly, we must first be willing to break the confinements of our own cocoon. My son has on the shirt that says, "We are our ancestors' wildest dream." Therefore, when we learn what our ancestors teach, we too can kick off our shoes as we rise to our feet.